ball joints on the Civic EP3 Type R. I've got these, which are made by Comline. I guess you could use anything you want, but it's the same right-handed or left-handed for part number. The first thing you need to do is take off that centre. I'm just using this little bit of metal underneath there, and then pop that off. And then you need to use the hub nut. So you need to see it's stamped in there. So you need to get a screwdriver in there, punch that, and then we'll see what that looks like afterwards. That's just so you can actually undo this nut. And it's a 36mm socket you want to use when the car's on the deck with a breaker bar, in order to actually undo that socket, undo that nut. Using the drive-through screwdriver, you can see I've made it so I can actually undo the nut. And then I'm using the 36mm on a breaker bar. Get it in there. I won't really be able to do it one-handed, but make sure it's pressed in there and then undo that. So you can see I've undone the 36mm hub nut, and then slackened off each of the 5 90mm wheel nuts. So I've jacked the car up, obviously taken the hub nut fully out, and then the wheel nuts fully out, taking the wheel off. And then we can actually, if we turn the wheel to the left, we can have a look at what we're playing with here. So, get a shot. Look at that. Absolutely torn right the way around. So that's knackered. So that needs to come out. Now I'm going to have to take the hub off to do this properly. That's why I've done the hub nut first. Then I'm going to need to undo this bolt, which obviously holds the hub, the ball joint on and the hub on. So undo this one. I'm going to have to undo the brake caliper as well, have that out of the way so I don't have to deal with the brake line, so I can just, otherwise I'd have to bleed the brakes again if I took off that, so just hang that out of the way. And then there's 2 bolts here, so you can see 2 there, and then I should be all good. I think the only other complicating factor is the fact that these have a sensor for the ABS, so I'm going to need to unclip the ABS here. There's a little sensor there, wire. So I'm going to have to unclip that, and yeah, crack on with that now. So the first step will be coming in with the 22mm single hex, and undoing both of these. So this is on a small extension on a 32-inch breaker bar. So come in here, make sure it's square on the nut, and then undo that one, and then take that off, and then undo this. And I'm just going to take both of those fully out, unwind those, both of those nuts, and when I'm ready I can take these bolts out, and that'll separate the hub. First of all I'm just going to undo them a bit, and then I'm going to get to work on taking all the other parts out, but I think it's best at this stage just to loosen both of those. So underneath the car, single hex 19mm, and this is for the lower ball joint nut, so you can see there. And then I'll just undo that, and then I'll be tapping here to loosen up this, and it should come straight out. So now the nut is out, I've got one of these, which is the fork type ball joint remover. Because this is knackered, it doesn't matter, so you wouldn't do this to a ball joint you'd want to keep. You'd probably end up using one of these type of tools, scissor tools, something like that. So I've got that in there. So I can just go ahead and crack that. Crack that. There we go. So you can see there, I'm free there, and it's good to go. 2 bolts, there's one here, and then the lower caliper bolt is here. So they're both 17mm. And then just again single hex and a breaker bar, undo both of those, and then we can hang this caliper out of the way. So here we have 10mm bolt, so you can attack that with a single hex 10mm on the quarter. So undo that one there, and then here to the coilover. There's another one around the back here. Difficult to see, but 10mm you can get your socket in then again. So undo those, and then it will reveal the clip and probably gives more access to the clip as expected. So removing that releases the clip. So here you can just push down on the back of the clip and then pull it out. It's going to be a two-hand job to undo that, but I think I've pretty much done it. So yeah, just undo that. I've undone the clip, and then now you just to remove this bit that goes inside the car, goes to the car's wiring loom at least. You need to get this in somewhere. Yes, then to remove this one, all you do is push on that tang back and then just remove the bit of metal so you can actually separate these two things from each other. Here's the sensor wire free and the chassis connection, I guess. And then we have the brake flexi, and that's on a 12mm that holds it to the strut. So just undo that, and then we can take that flexi away from the strut, and then just pin this up on the strut and then get out of the way. So that's the flexi line off the strut. Then we can just, if we need to, use the jimmy to back the caliper off here a bit, so this is loose, and then I can take this up and I'm going to zip tie it to one of the strut coils just to get up and out of the way. So here we have the caliper zip tied up out of the way. Next job would be to hold the 19mm on the back, and then you can see it there, of the strut, and then undo this bolt, and then we've already loosened this obviously before, and then do the same to the top. So here we have it, the nuts are off. Then just to remove these, if you want, you can just shove it with a punch, or tap it, which I'll probably have to do to this top one, and that'll be ready to come out. This is pretty much ready to come out now. Those are both taken out. I've still got the wedge in the bottom to keep it separated, and you can just push out the drive shaft pretty much by hand at this point. So see there, it's come right out. It's just a matter of actually just pulling the whole thing out. So just pull that down, or just pick this whole thing up and pull the drive shaft out as it comes. So I've put it in the vise, you can see here, and then it really shows the true horror of this ball joint. Look how knackered this is. All of it's gone. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that old rubber boot, what's left of it, off, just with some pliers, and just get to the actual ball joint itself. So the boot was split in half, and there you go, that's the top bit, the bottom bit, and this little bit that's meant to hold the whole thing on, so that's all knackered, and this reveals the ball joint naked, if you like. It's the reverse clip pliers, so what we can do is get these in here, like so. And just pull old circlip out. Fabulous. Look, it's broken in half. How long has that been in there? So that is, I've never seen it before, so that's in half. So I'll take the other bit out and then I'll get to work on it. Circlips out, or what's left of it, two halves with the circlip. And then what I'm going to do is come in here with the punch on here and then smack it here and here. That's where you take the rubber off so that you don't get any of that impact damped. So come in here, smack it round, and then start moving this whole thing down. That's what's in the vise, and you couldn't really do it on the car because you actually need to crack this here and here and around there, start moving it. So something went wrong when I was filming the part when I was taking out the old ball joint. If you use a 22mm on a single hex and an extension bar, You can slot that over the whole lot and then crack it. You can see I've used this extension quite a few times, but I don't use it for anything else other than cracking things. So put it over the top and then crack it with a suitable lump hammer, and there you go, you'll be able to pop it out. Something went wrong when I was filming the part when I was putting in the new ball joint, but really all you need to know is you get a suitable size socket, place it over the ball joint, and then you can crack it with a suitable extension bar and with a lump hammer like this, and then just ease it in. Just make sure that it goes in, if you like, straight. If it starts going in at an angle, you can have a hell of a job. It tends to be if you can just put some copper slip around the edges of it, and you should be able to just guide it home. So then it can be useful just to have it above the jaws, it's resting on there, and then carry on cracking it. You should make sure that it's the whole way down. Forget to use your circlip tool, just get it on there. Not going to be able to do this with one hand, but make sure it's all the way snug. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what you're aiming for, it's flush in there and the whole way around. Copper slip the ball joint and the hole as it goes into as well, so next time it might be easy to take out. So back at the car, so you take the lower nut out there, you can need that later, then try and feed it in. It's going to be easier said than done, I'm sure it will work. So first try and go for the hub, you want to get that in there, then turn it over. So you want to get that started, and then push this down. And get this lower ball joint in. There we go. It's in there like that. Then so you don't mess up that sensor wire. You have to buy another one. Put that on there, like so. It's going to help to force down this anti-roll bar a bit. Right. So you see here, force the anti-roll bar in, pushes it in like this, and get those bolts in. Okay, there's those two bolts in. You probably saw I put them the wrong way around first time around, that's because I'm an idiot. But yeah, that's how you get them in. Bingo. Then you can start doing everything up. Then do up these two bolts with the two nuts and bolts with the 22 and a breaker, and then come down here, do up the castellated nut that's on a 19, and then you need to make sure you put the split pin in. This is the split pin itself, and then you separate the pin, so you wind one leg around the side and one leg around the bottom. The split pins in, and then we will continue. So we will put the caliper on next and do up the hub nut. So then we've got a 17mm single hex breaker just to do up both of the caliper bolts, and then we're just going to get the 36mm and do this up just snug, and then when it's back on the deck with the wheel on and the cap off, then we'll torque that up. Okay, the only other things to do now are is attach back this little 12mm behind here for the flexi line, and mount up this ABS sensor. I'll do that with the 210mm and just clip it in. So last step is just wipe off any crap you managed to get on the brake disc, and then put the wheel back on without the hub centre cap on, and then yeah, put it on the deck and tighten the hub nut. 90mm and also the 36mm hub nut. Then I need to bend in this, so I'm going to rotate the car back until that's at the top, and then use a flathead. Buttoned up, so you can see that's dented in, and then just put the cap on.